Hipike, várjál anya, I got to fix this baby. Because your father messed this up. And he's gonna go to the moon one way.
Look at him.
Do you see his New York Fire Department? That's from New York.
From New
There you
York,
go.
Welcome to 1 Minute Budapest. This is our first expat interview in 2022. We're going to talk to American screenwriter Daniel Berghoff. He's going to talk about his book, The Nostradamus Mission, and in the hopes of Netflix picking that up for a series. Welcome to 1 Minute Budapest. How did you end up here in Hungary?
Yeah, well, I've always wanted to see Europe. My dad had traveled a lot during his career. And it just turned out that I married a Hungarian who was living in the United States. We had actually been roommates 30 years before. And we went our separate ways when she got engaged to a police officer working at a restaurant. But we always kept in touch to some extent. So 30 years later, she had moved to Miami and then came back to Clearwater, Florida, where I was living. And I connected with her on Facebook. So at the time, her mom was visiting and her mom was leaving at the end of the month. And it turned out my roommates in the condo that I was renting in a place called On Top of the World were also leaving. So it was almost like it was meant to be. So we said, let's be roommates again.
Nice.
So we became roommates, and after maybe a month, we felt so comfortable, like we did before, being together. We're not getting any younger. We didn't want to be alone. We're both, approaching, she's 60, I'm 65. So I proposed to her. She said, okay. So we realized that since we both wanted to travel and we're approaching retirement, I was collecting Social Security, why not go to Hungary, her home country, and use that as a base, see if we can do some traveling from there. Especially because I had my book that people wanted to make into a movie. I thought we could check out the film industry when we got there, because I did research to show that it was booming and I wanted to check that out. So when we got here the first time in March of 2020, I guess, yeah, I ended up getting a meeting with Origo Studios, and they fell in love with the idea of doing the project. They liked the script. At first we wanted to make it into a movie. It wasn't until later they decided TV series. So that's how I got started, and we can only stay for 3 months, so we just basically became tourists for 3 months. Had my meeting with Origo and knew that they were interested. So I went back home, finished writing, adapting the scripts to a TV series. I wrote 10 episodes, and then when I finished and I got a production team, we came back for business, but also for pleasure, to see more of Hungary, and hoping we get a deal so we can then use the money to travel all of Europe. So we haven't gotten all the money yet from the funding and the production, but when we do, we plan on traveling Europe and using Budapest as our base. So that's why I came here. Of course, then I fell in love with it. So then we'll see if we get our money, if we can want to buy a place here or not. But we'll just see what happens.
Yeah, so you're in here for the long haul.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you about your book. Now, the film you were talking about, and of course, it's based off your book. When did you write that?
I wrote that in 2012. I finished in 2012. Actually, I went to school at Seton Hall University. I was majored in mass communications, minored in journalism. So I became a sports writer. And then I got bored of it because it wasn't very challenging. It was too much of a business, and I wasn't able to do very much creatively. When I grew up, my father used to travel a lot, and that's why another reason why I wanted to come to Europe, because I heard all these stories. And he used to buy mystery novels, and he'd pass them on to me. So I spent a lot of my life reading either mystery novels or history novels. So when I decided to write the book, when I gave up sports journalism, I'd never written the book before, so I got some tutoring from was it HarperCollins Publishing. They had this course for people to adjust to writing novels. So after I took that course, I felt comfortable. And I worked with Amazon through creative publishing program they have for new authors. Amazon helped me get it published, and it's published on Amazon now. And now it's received enough interest that it's on maybe as many as 70 different distribution channels of Amazon. In other words, it's sold in China, it's sold in Japan, it's sold on every continent, it's sold in even South America, several countries in South America, almost all the countries in Western Europe. Not sold in Hungary for some reason yet, but maybe it will be. It's not sold in Russia, I mean, but it's sold almost everywhere else, even sold in South Africa even. Surprised me. Turkey even. So I'm happy about that. So people are aware. There's a lot of buzz. People said this has got to be made into a movie. I've had a lot of positive book reviews saying it should be made into a movie or a TV series, whatever. So that helped get people wanting to behind it, to adopt it into a TV series. Once I was able to write a script, I tried to hire an experienced screenwriter, but I couldn't afford one, so I had to teach myself to do it. So I like I did with my novel writing, I got tutoring, and it developed, and I got improved enough to get it acceptable to be made into a series. Now they'll have other writers, play with it from the director's want or whatever, to fine tune it and so on. But it's enough to for them to envision it would be successful, very successful, because nothing like this has ever been done before. Yeah, thank you.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
And it's already now 10 years since the book was released.
Yeah,
right? So
10 years. Yeah.
now,
I was surprised there are as many movie studios here that are booming. It's booming.
Yeah, I think the film industry is going to flourish so much more here.
Yeah. I think if they get past this, they back off, and they know there's not going to be this invasion by Russia into the Ukraine that could affect the economy here in some way because of the migration of people leaving Hungary, and then with the election coming up, who knows what unrest that might cause if it doesn't go well. But we'll see. But the good thing is that there's a lot of excitement with a couple of studios here about the Nostradamus Mission series based on my book. And if we do get the funding from somewhere else besides Netflix, who is uncomfortable filming here right now, then what we may end up doing is wait until October to film here, and then film the early part of the TV series in the U.S., like the pilot. And we have an investor who's interested in funding the pilot, and then possibly the first 5 or 6 episodes, and then we hope to come back to Budapest maybe in October to film the rest of it. By then maybe things will have calmed down, and then once it's filmed, our investor will take care of approaching Netflix or Amazon to pick it up for streaming.
Yeah.
So
Because there are other film studios.
Yeah.
Many film studios here, and you see a lot of filming going on here. So
Oh, yeah.
Hopefully they will.
Yeah, in fact, Origo has production partners, Pioneer, Stoking, and Mid-Atlantic. If we have the funding, then they'll end up producing it, working in partnership with Origo, who will provide the staging, and some post-production resources. They'll work together. But either Mid-Atlantic, Pioneer, Stoking, or maybe some other will provide a lot of the production resources for the filming that happens here. But anyhow, we would love to stay. Our visa runs out in April, so we have to leave. But we'll be back, and we'll hopefully film in the U.S. and come back to film. I'll come back here next October, and everything will be good.
What advice would you give to your friends or anyone thinking about coming to Budapest to relocate?
Well, I would tell them that that's the quality of life. It's ideal for a family. That they may be very surprised, even though I tell them certain things that are appealing. They might find something else that they're interested in they like too. There's mass transportation is the best I've ever seen. In fact, it's rated as one of the best mass transportation cities in all of Europe, from what I'm told. Yeah, and the cost of living is cheap, is less than it would be in the United States and most European countries, and it's got everything you need to live, a strong quality of life. The economy's strong and getting stronger, so there's a lot of hope for the future, and also there's not very much crime. You worry about that sometimes, depending on if you're in a major city, especially in the United States. They don't have issues with violence and the crime that you see in major cities in the U.S. You feel safe walking the streets. There's no muggings or anything like this. If anything, the people are courteous, and the food's great if you like to eat food, and you can still lose weight. Love to eat food, but in fact, I've lost so much weight that I have to probably get suspenders because my belt no longer works, and I had to hold my pants up coming here. So.
Thanks for talking with me. I hope everything works out with the series and that Netflix will wrap it up.
Yeah, we feel good about it. I feel I have good vibes. So I appreciate it. Good talking to you and meeting you. And have a great day. Everybody have a great day.